Reviewers will oftentimes bring up whether or not they were able to relate to the characters in a certain medium while discussing their quality. While I can understand how having a cast of characters which all share emotions, motives, and morals that are easily understandable and relatable would be appealing, I personally think it's not necessary in order for a character to be good. My name is Tusk the Otaku, and I'm going to try my best to convince you of this, so let me know your opinions on this below. Now, without further ado, let's do this shit. I think the reason why reviewers tend to award relatable characters with a lot of praise has to do with empathy. Because they can easily relate to these characters, they can put themselves in the shoes of this character and feel what they do. This makes the sad moments feel sadder and the big, triumphant ones feel even grander. I don't really have any problem with this, seeing as it is a powerful and effective writing technique that, when used correctly, can make the most stoic and emotionless killjoys feel something. My issue comes primarily with its overuse. How many anime, movies, or video games have you experienced that involve an ordinary person being thrown into some awful situation and eventually overcoming it through determination and/or friendship? The need for a relatable cast of characters culminates in this cesspool of samey characters that at times are indistinguishable from one another, save for some aesthetic choices and their settings. I want to make it clear that I'm not bashing any of these characters. I'm just trying to show you how this can become overused and tiresome when you branch out and explore different titles. In order to mitigate this problem of having too many characters with similar motives and personalities, we need to talk a bit about constructing a character. When making a character for your work of fiction, it's important to establish their role in the story, but I'd argue it's even more important to establish what defines them as a person. By coming up with a bunch of different traits for your character, you avoid making the infamous walking exposition machine, an abomination solely designed to spell out to the audience what's happening in the plot, along with other bits of information they just happen to have stowed away in their brains. It's those traits you come up with and then assign to a character that give that character life. Here's the thing though. These traits don't need to be positive or relatable in order to create a good character. One of my favorite movies of all time, Reservoir Dogs, follows a group of people trying to deal with their failed jewelry heist. If you were to judge these characters on our social norms, they would all be certified criminals and bona fide assholes. However, that doesn't make them bad characters. In fact, everyone being a complete psycho dick is part of the movie's charm. Despite these people being pretty awful human beings, you still find yourself rooting for them to make it out of this situation okay. The suspense it creates from you not knowing when they'll be caught by the police, or if they'll find out how everything went wrong, or if they'll all just end up shooting each other to death, is just felt powerfully throughout the film. All these sources of suspense are only present due to these characters being the assholes that they are. Despite their fates being justified, you still connect with them. I'd say this is in part due to Quentin Tarantino's ability to write casual, meaningless dialogue in such an entertaining way to bring a human aspect to these characters, but it's also because the movie completely revolves around the actions and decisions of these characters. Every moment of this movie is spent focusing on the characters and fleshing them out, even up until they meet their untimely end. Because you've spent so much time with these characters, you feel like you know them, so despite their criminal nature, you find yourself empathizing with them to an extent. That's right, you are empathizing with criminals, you sick fuck. They didn't need to be some boring, overused everyman type character in order for you to feel for them. The story was able to draw you in. This now segues nicely into why so many characters are like this, because it's easier to write. Rather than writers needing to develop some crazy personality and invest themselves in that character when deciding what actions they'll take, they can simply ask themselves, what would I do? Inserting yourself into a piece of fiction and just going from there is so much easier than making something new and different. But not only is it easier on writers, it's easier on consumers. Sure, seeing a character you can relate to triumph over adversity feels nice, but you don't really gain anything from it. It doesn't challenge you in any way. I think it's a lot more interesting and rewarding to follow a character that you share next to no qualities with through their journey and seeing how things play out for them. With a well-written narrative, you may find yourself empathizing with them anyways. This way you're exposed to new ideas and mindsets. your ideals can potentially be changed and you could walk out from the experience with new perspective. Entertainment is a powerful thing, people. So I invite you all to check out something that seems outside your realm of comfort and really ponder about why someone would do, like, or say this. Give yourself that opportunity to grow as an individual rather than remaining stagnant. Not everything needs to conform to your preconceived notions of right and wrong. Thanks for listening, guys. I know this probably took a weird and unexpected turn, but I want to get this out there. If you made it this far, I want you to know that I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble. I hope you think about what I had to say and maybe even apply it to your life in some way. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.